The best advice I can give is to don't try to do something different for every part of the world. Pick and choose what you're going to use from a policy standpoint or from a procedure standpoint and what regulations to follow. Generally pick, from a global perspective, the most onerous or the most restrictive regulations you have to comply with. Implement those globally, and it takes out two things. First of all, the headache of having to try to figure out if your people are traveling from one region to another and have to figure out additions to security, subtractions from security, but it also saves on the paperwork. So if you do the same thing across the entire country or the entire globe, it really does provide a much easier implementation across that entire enterprise. So what it does is it adds on additional layers of protection that we have to introduce in those countries. So you have to produce additional boundary protection, information coming into and out of that particular group. You really have to take more care on how you're protecting and storing, where it's stored, how it's encrypted or protected inside the country. You try to localize it as much as possible. And you try to actually narrow your footprint as much as possible. You really take a lot more care in making sure that the information's only stored in the systems that it's supposed to be, that it doesn't get leaked out and stored on everybody's PCs or on share files or something like that. You really take a lot more protection and a lot more eyes on that type of environment to make sure you protect it as well as you can. And to tell you honestly, in some instances, you're just not going to be able to do everything. They're going to get into your network there, they're going to get into your PCs, they're going to get at your information. What you do is you really have to focus on those crown jewels. You can't protect everything, because if you try to protect everything, you're going to lose sight of the really important stuff. So you have to have a really good grasp of what's important and what you want to really localize and really focus on that. And then that way, even though they might get some information, they don't get your crown jewels.